Hello, hello, and welcome to your weekly reading. I'm Madeline. So, the format for this weekly reading is going to look familiar to some of you, an oldie but a goodie, a reading that I used to do on my channel all the time called the Fiercely Focused Spread. So, we're going to pull a major arcana card to get a look at the theme of the energy for your week. Then, we're going to pull a persona card, one of the court cards, to see how you're showing up and kind of how that plays with the rest of the energy going on. And then we will pull a card for each of the four elements to see how things are going for you when it comes to money and career, mental health and the kind of conversations you're having, your emotional, romantic, and relational life, and then finally your energy, your spirit, your willpower, your inner fire. So we're going to go sign by sign. I will timestamp everything. So feel free to jump around. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, rising, and any other signs that have heavy personal planets or even a stellium to get a more comprehensive message. So, shall we? Let's. We're going to start with Aries, my cardinal fire friends. So, Spirit, want to look at the overall energy of the week for Aries. What's coming up for Aries that they need to know for their highest good? Beautiful. I'll show you everything in just a moment, Aries. Lend me some of that rare patience. And Spirit, I want to know how Aries is showing up. What kind of person? What kind of energy are they showing up as? What do they need to know to show up in the best way possible? Big Aries energy. Love to see it. Okay. And when it comes to money and resources, career, projects, how is Aries doing, Spirit? Beautiful reading so far, Aries. What do you have going on? Something is really coming together. That's what I'm hearing. Something is really coming together. And it comes through being unequivocally who you are. As in, if I'm not worrying about explaining myself to anybody, I do my work much better that way. Like when I am inwardly focused. When I trust myself. Wow. What do I pull for your mental card, right? As I say that, Eight of Swords, the card of kind of like insecurity, a little bit of holding back. So Spirit is saying, be brave, be yourself, understand. Here's your card for the week, your theme for the week. Understand that not everybody will understand. That doesn't mean that you're wrong. Just because they can't see the vision doesn't mean that the vision doesn't exist and the vision isn't real. So I would say don't trust feedback from yourself or others that says like, I'm not ready yet. Maybe later. This looks to me like you're ready. Let's get a look at your emotions. Your relational life. How are you feeling this week, Aries? Beautiful. Oh my goodness. Okay, one more. And how's your energy? You're doing a lot. You're doing a lot, Aries, but if anybody can do it, it's you. So, finances, work, career, you are well supported this week. It feels that for a lot of you, the job is going really well. It's also like home life, Ten of Pentacles, very secure, very protective, very steady, very strong. And if any of you aren't feeling that way, you may be a little bit caught up in your head. So if that is coming up for you this week, just take notice. And Spirit is saying, take notice of which of these thoughts are like, oh yeah, I've had this thought a million fucking times before. So has it been true those million times before? Or have I managed to do whatever it is that I'm trying to do or to get through whatever it is I'm trying to get through every single time? You can have doubts and still move forward. That's what Spirit is saying. So it's like, you don't have to like be free of your doubts and get rid of your doubts and demolish your doubts if that's not fucking up for you. You can go forward with your doubts. That's like, doubts are outposts to certainty, is what Spirit is saying. So as you doubt something and keep moving toward it, be like, I don't know about this. Doubt is going to be like, oh, okay, confirm or deny, and then I'll move in the direction that I need to next. So don't be afraid to carry on, even if you feel a little insecure. I don't think I need to over explain that point to an Aries. Usually I'll have a ton of courage to move forward. It just feels like you have a lot on your plate. And I feel like you're handling it really well, but maybe you wonder if you're handling it really well. Let's jump over to your energy, your fire. 10 of Wands. Are you bringing something to completion this week? Is it like, oh my God, finally, we're on the actual precipice. I'm right about to like finish this, sign it off, send it off. It feels like perhaps completion of a project, especially between the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands. Now, for some of you, these are general readings, Aries. For some of you, this is like completion. For others of you, it's like, are we there yet? When can I be done? Is there anything you need to delegate? Is there anything you need to let go of? Perhaps for some of you, your plate is so full that it's kind of like taking up too much mental bandwidth and you need a little more room, kind of like you've got a million mental tabs open. And so your bandwidth is all taken up. Things start to move really slow. You can get into a little bit of a bottleneck situation if you're there. I feel like this only applies to those of you who are holding yourself back according to like those thoughts, those worries about not being good enough or not being perfect or not being irreproachable. None of those things will ever happen. So proceed, proceed. What is waiting for you? Emotional satisfaction, a feeling of fulfillment, a feeling of like, I really did that shit. I manifested that shit. I made that happen. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so contented with myself. So I'm not too worried about your fears holding you back for too long when there is so much beauty, goodness, and a sense of like, yeah, that's who the fuck I am. And this is what the fuck I create. I like it, Aries. Let me know. Anybody know what's going on with that this week? Anybody having any hints of it already showing up? Always curious to hear. Okay, let's jump forward. Let's talk to Taurus. My Taurus people. Uh-oh, this is the danger of doing things live. Okay, I think we're good. Thank you to those of you who reflexively or purposefully blessed and gesundheitted. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think we're really done now. Okay. Taurus. Taurus for this week. Want to know, Spirit, what is the overall energy, kind of the theme for Taurus's week that you want them to know about for their highest good? Always and only for their highest good, Spirit. What's showing up? Wow. Spirit is jokingly like Judgment Day, which is what is represented, of course, visually in the card, right? It is the dead rising, proverbially speaking. So going from perhaps feeling like a bit of a zombie to, oh yeah, I'm alive again, a rebirth, a recommitment is also what I'm hearing. So it's like reawakening, recommitment, rebirth. I'm hearing the word surge, like there's a surge this week. Interesting. We'll talk about it. We can pull a few more cards for you, Taurus. How is Taurus showing up this week, Spirit? What is their persona this week? What do they need to know to show up in the best way possible, Spirit? What are they bringing forward this week? Wow. Beautiful. When it comes to money and resources, career, projects, Taurus things, what does Taurus need to know this week, Spirit? What's coming up? Wow. Any of y'all have Aries placements? Let me know. I'm shuffling these cards good, but we've got a couple of stalkers already. Okay, Spirit. And when it comes to the mental realm, mental health, any kind of preoccupations, any healing, any spaciousness, any tightness, want to know, how is Taurus's mind doing this week? That could have something to do with that Judgment Day. We'll talk about it. And Spirit, emotionally, how's Taurus doing this week? What's coming up for Taurus in the realm of relationships and emotions? And Spirit, when it comes to energy, willpower, their fire, their spirit, when it comes to energy, how is Taurus doing this week? How is their energy showing up? What do they need to know for their highest good? Looks like you're fighting. Do you want to fight me? Do you want to catch these hands? Has anybody else heard this song? It's been stuck in my head. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, forgive me. So, Taurus, you're showing up with a lot of strength this week. Showing up as the King of Wands. You know who you are. You know what your idea is. You're taking the lead. That's what I'm really hearing. A lot of you are leaders, like maybe at your job, or maybe you are, on your own, like a kind of creative pioneer, entrepreneur. It feels like you have to make a huge decision this week. And, Spirit is using that word decide very deliberately. From the Latin, decide means to cut. That it's like, I can't have everything, so I have to cut and choose the piece that I'm going to have. So, what is it that you maybe need to cut out? What is it that maybe you need to release in order to be able to move forward with a little more joy? Money looks great. Work looks great. Looks like, again, projects may come to completion, or you may just have that sense of like peace, security, protection, very steady, very much, if any of you are concerned about money, it feels like there is more than enough. Some of you might be getting help or offering help to family. That's something I'm also hearing. Feels like protection is exchanged generously. We love to see it. Now, the other side of this is it feels like you might fucking want to fight somebody. That's the song. You might want somebody to catch these hands or at least catch these words. So mentally, when it comes to the realm of thoughts and words, 5 of Swords, kind of a Pyrrhic victory. If you haven't heard of that, a Pyrrhic victory is like when two sides, two great nation states, right, go to war. And it's like, oh, side A won the war, but they lost 75% of their soldiers in the skirmish. So it's like, did we win, or is that more of like a technical victory? You know what I'm saying? And Spirit is saying, don't go for the technical victory. I don't know anything about boxing or MMA or any of that, but apparently some of y'all do, and so does Spirit. And they're like, don't go for the technical victory. Like, don't um don't try to get the last word. Let them have the last word is something that I'm genuinely hearing. And I understand I'm talking to a Taurus, and I'm talking to a Taurus who's coming through as a King of Wands this week. So even more than usual, it's like, bitch, please, I am going to get the last word. But I feel like it's not worth it. I feel like that is a waste of your energy. So anybody in your life who might be like, look out for the kind of person who is immature, who does like to have the last word, who does like to, like, I told you so. That's something else that I'm hearing with that 5 of Swords. You have the upper hand. You have the higher ground. 7 of Wands, when it comes to your energy, like, there's no shortage for you this week of fire and fight. And you showing up as the king tells me, versus like, let's say a Page of Wands showing up and then the 7 of Wands. It's like, that might be you showing up as immature, but I don't think that's the case this week. I feel like you are showing up with maturity, with leadership. I'm hearing some of you maybe bosses who are dealing with like employees where it's like, oh God, they're really immature, or they're flaky, or they're this and that. Maybe that's part of this decision you need to make. For some of you, could be employee or coworker. Somebody, this could be like a friend or a family member, where it's like, this person is flaky, this person is immature, this person never follows through on what they say they're going to do, or whatever. I need to go ahead and stand up for myself. I need to go ahead and like say what is happening. Now, it feels like, this is why I say it just feels like a do not engage, or at least like engage as little as possible, because emotionally, it just doesn't feel like it's worth it. 5 of Cups is mourning a loss. It's like, God damn it, I really wanted this, and now it's tipped over and it's in the sand. Like, you don't want to get down on your knees and try to scrape up the sandy old water into these cups and make it work. So there's a little bit of let it go, enjoy what is good in your life. These 2 full standing cups behind you. I'm not going to rush you, Taurus. This does feel like, ugh, this is really fucking disappointing. I did not want this conversation or this interaction or whatever to go like this. But all I can really do is know, and this is the beauty of getting a reading, is like, okay, if I am going to be running into some type of conflict or some type of whatever, mental skirmish this week, how do I want to show up? How do I want to come across and behave? What are my values in the situation? How do I act them out rather than get kind of like taken by surprise? This kind of energy can pull us down, like on down to their level. That's what I'm hearing, right? So it's kind of like if any of you have seen the Back to the Future movies, and Marty McFly has this kind of constant thread throughout the trilogy where if somebody calls him chicken, he just has to do some dumb shit to prove that he's not chicken. Don't do that. That whole let them have the last word, let them call you chicken. It's going to be just like the third movie. Let me know if any of you know. I'm showing my geriatric millennial roots here. Um, let them have the last word. You have the higher ground. You don't need to prove to anybody that you're right. You come in, you do you, let other people flail and do them. And that's just what I'm hearing. Let them flail. Okay, spirit, you do what feels right to you. You commit in the way that feels right to you. And if for some of you, this is like a revelation that, like, oh my God, what the fuck? I thought this was in a good place, or I thought this was going to work out. And then this happens and kind of takes you by surprise. Do not try to close your eyes. Do not try to hit the snooze button. Do not try to unsee what you've seen or unring the bell that is ring, ring, ringing in your ear. Trust the warning signs. Something else that I'm hearing. Okay? Okay. Good deal, Taurus. I see you appearing with strength. I'm not worried about you. So let's move on to Gemini. Let us see what is the theme, kind of overall energy coming up for Gemini. What did Gemini people spirit need to know for their highest good in the coming week? That was fun. That was easy. Hey! Pick up and show you in just a second, Gemini. So I'm going to now pull a persona card for Gemini spirit. How is Gemini showing up? Page, Knight, Queen, King, and of what realm? What kind of attitude? Love it. Very powerful for a Gemini. Okay. I really wish I could have two cameras where just like the weather or something where you all have a panel up here where you can see the cards as I go. So let's look at money. Money and work. How's it going for Gemini when it comes to money and work, projects, resources, effort, skills, spirit? What does Gemini need to know this week when it comes to money? Okay. And when it comes to mental health, the kind of messages we're sending and receiving, how our headspace is for Gemini this week, spirit. What is the swords realm looking like for Gemini? Okay. How about their emotions? Their emotions, their relationships, spirit. Let's look in Gemini's cups for this week. What is in their cups? What is the emotional weather? Wow. Very Gemini cards so far. Okay, okay. One more, please, spirit. I want to look at Gemini's energy, their fire. How is their light, their spirit showing up? What do they need to know for their highest good? Wow. Well, Gemini, overall energy for this week, temperance, moderation, back and forth. And spirit is saying a little at a time, a little at a time. Like, feels really good. Feels like don't go too hard, don't go too soft, no like crazy all-nighters and now I have to sleep for 3 days. How can I, like, spirit is using the phrase energy audit. Like, let me audit how I'm using my energy and notice places where it's like, oh, that's an energy leak, or like, oh, these things when I do them actually give me energy, so I need to punctuate these throughout my day. You know what I'm saying? Really check into how your balance is, how your harmony. Let me use that word. How your harmony is. What are you missing? Do you need a little more of this? Do you need a little less of that? Make adjustments. Make adjustments this week. The energy is in your favor. Um, Temperance is also telling me make sure that on those basic levels, Gemini, you're taking care of like drinking enough water, getting enough sleep. If you manage your energy levels, Spirit is saying everything else is going to go better. Now, beautifully, you are showing up very much in your element, Queen of Swords. I haven't said it yet, but you probably heard me say it, Gemini. Queen, king, all of that, nothing to do with sex and gender, everything to do with personality type. Queens are creators. So your words, your mind, like it's cranking, and as usual, right? And the Queen of Swords is also incredibly strategic, incredibly good at planning and executing. No pun intended, but for some of y'all that might apply. We'll talk about it. To see the Queen of Swords next to Temperance, I would say the Queen of Swords can be a little bit cut and dry. Make sure that you are allowing like your emotions, your feelings, your desires to interplay with like what is smart and strategic to do. Like don't, you know, cut part of yourself off. Like this is kind of what they're saying. In my head, I want to be, writing for 10 hours every day and that's what's going to get me finished with this project, or I need to do this and then I'll be done. And it's like, are you weighing how that's going to make you feel, or are you just trying to be like, this is the smart thing to do, this is the calculated strategic thing to do? Temperance would say, she has one land on the earth, one foot in the water. Bring both. Little column A, little column B. If I'm going to work really hard for an hour and a half, I'm going to rest really hard for an hour and a half. Okay? Okay. When it comes to money and resources, it's a little tight. Four of Pentacles. It's just a little bit afraid of not having enough. Totally understandable. Very much a reality for tons of us. So I'm not trying to bypass that. The good news about the Four of Pentacles is there is enough. It just feels tight. It's not like the Five of Pentacles where it's like, ooh, there's actually not enough. Like we're gonna need to sell something, or we're gonna need to, pinch our fucking belts as hard as possible. This is not that. This is, consider how you are using, spending, saving all of your resources, which yes applies to your money, your literal coin and pentacles, but it's also about your work effort. To come back to that Temperance card, it's like, am I holding myself to too rigid of a standard? Or on the flip side, am I not holding myself to a standard? And that means that like that is the cause of the bottleneck. Do you know what I'm talking about? Consider how you spend your energy, your time, your money. How is your budget for energy? Energy audit. Okay. Okay. You have more than you actually know. I think you're just feeling a little bit stuck right now. And that's why that Temperance card is coming in to say, how's the harmony? What do we need to adjust? Spirit is actually bringing up the phrase feng shui. If any of you are familiar, it's like the Chinese energy art of balancing like objects within the space. And Spirit is like, you need to do a little bit of like literal or figurative feng shui. What is allows my energy to flow and what keeps it like stopped up and constipated? You will be letting some things go this week. Seven of Swords, retreat and regroup. Some of you have been sitting at the casino table, putting down chips, betting, and you haven't gotten anything back, and it might be time to leave the table. At least for a bit. At least go outside, sober up, take a walk. Then if you want to come back in and place another bet, do it like that. But don't just keep going and going and hoping. That's what I'm hearing, okay? Seven of Swords is like walking away from a battle. Sometimes, the finest generals understand that in any, there are times when we have to retreat. Doesn't matter how powerful we are, doesn't matter how, etc. Sometimes it's the right thing. And sometimes we need to ask ourselves, it's like, what am I fighting for? And that's what Spirit is saying. Queen of Swords, very strategic. What am I fighting for? Is it really worth it? Energy audit. Emotionally, Seven of Cups. Very Gemini card. You're multi-talented. You're multi-skilled. There are many things that you're curious about, many things that you could do, many doors down many hallways that you could peek into, many dimensions, right? This week, we're talking about an energy audit. We're talking about Queen of Swords is really smart and strategic. So allow the Queen of Swords to come and look at your cups with you. Like, hey, I think I want power, and I think I want money, and I think I want fame, and I think I want love, and I think I want, you know what I mean? And consider, which cup do I want to fill now? Which cup do I want to pour my energy into first or most? Now, I know better than to tell a Gemini you need to cut it down to one thing, but I will say cut it down from 7 or 5 to like 3. Permaculture, like putting 3 herbs in a pot that work really well together. How can you arrange your permaculture so that there's like, I'm getting joy here, I'm getting satisfaction here, I'm working hard over here, I'm challenging myself over here. So it's like a thriving ecosystem. You feel me? You are multi-talented. You are meant to have multiple options and ideas always working and on the table. And you are going places. So you're not doing anything wrong. You just want to focus rather than diffuse your energy. Okay. Decide strategically, Queen of Swords, Ali, if I put this first and I really make sure that like I'm taking care of my physical health, just as an example, if it's like one of the cups up there is like, I want to get fit. It's like, ooh, if I chose the cup of, let me take 2 months, 8 solid weeks to focus, like my primary focus is, in addition to whatever regular things I need to accomplish in life, I really want to feel a difference in my health and my amount of energy by the end of the next 8 weeks, or in my money, or in my love life, or whatever. Make your choice. But going with this fitness thing, it's like, ooh, if I put that one first, it's very likely that I'm literally going to have more energy and strength to do more of the things that I want to do. So that might be a strategically very smart thing to put first. You feel me? When you've got places to go, when you've got mountains to climb and oceans to sail across, new horizons, your path is opening, Gemini. Like your options are opening. And I feel like it's like your ships are coming in. Are they coming in to deliver you this new option or this new opportunity or this gift? Or are you hopping on one of these ships and going out somewhere? I see you expanding. Very important that you know expansion is going to feel better to you than contraction. And sometimes letting go of some old bullshit makes room for expansion and not feeling so weighed down by all of the things you need to do. Feel me? Do not feel guilty. And this is what I'm hearing very clearly. Do not feel guilty about letting go of battles that like are no longer yours to fight, even if they once were. Okay? Okay. Yay. Thank you, Gemini. I hope that that is helpful. So now let us move on to Cancer. What's going on this week, Spirit, for Cancer? Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Stellium, folks. What is the overall energy that you want to make Cancer aware of, Spirit, for their highest good? Woo! Okay. Then we're going to need a little antidote, a little clarification. Thank you, Spirit. What do you want us to know about this energy, Spirit? What is it setting free? What is it revealing this week? Beautiful. Okay. Wow. Okay. Don't worry. We'll talk about it. I want to pull a persona card for Cancer. What kind of person? Page, Knight, Queen, King. And which element are they showing up in this week? What do they need to know for their highest good? Wow. You'll hear that one jump out? That was cool. Okay. Take it slow. It's the first thing that I'm hearing. Take it slow. Things are changing. Things are changing, but they are moving in a positive direction. May not always feel that way right at first. Spirit, I want to look at money, work, projects, resources. Cancer, how's it looking this week? Makes sense to me. And how about mentally? Their mental health, their headspace. How are their thoughts looking this week, Spirit, for Cancer? What do you need them to know? Their highest good when it comes to mental health, kinds of thoughts and words. Okay, that also makes sense. I really, really wish I had a second camera so y'all could watch this like in real time. And when it comes to feelings, emotions, relationships, Spirit, what is showing up for Cancer this week? Yeah. And finally, what's their energy like? Their energy, their fire, their willpower, Spirit. How is Cancer's fiery, spirited aspect showing up this week? Woo! Okay, well, listen. Sometimes, Cancer, when you try to take everything on, and I'm also hearing like hold everything in, towers happen. Okay? So, this week, a big surprise, a massive change, something that happens without your permission. And perhaps it's like, I did not want to lose that. I did not want that to fall apart. Um, However, your clarifying card, your kind of antidote energy, is the equal and opposite of the tower. The wheel of fortune. That's how I describe it even when I write about the wheel of fortune is like, tower seems like sudden bad luck, sudden like setback, right? And then the wheel of fortune is like sudden growth, expansion, completion and reignition of a cycle. So something has to break down. Something has to fall away for this new era to begin. So I would say your persona card come through like a Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is shown here very appropriately like a farmer, someone who understands the nature of the seasons and cycles and isn't too afraid when they see something like the tower, especially when it's attached to the wheel of fortune, because it's like, oh, I needed this in order to make this big leap. Spirit is saying for some of you, something that you thought about yourself may crumble down this week. Like, oh, I thought of myself as like a person who would do everything for anybody. And now, like, I tweaked my back or something like that. And suddenly you have to tell everybody everything is on hold. I can't do anything. I'm going to need this person to take over this, that, and the other thing. Um, Understand that life moves in cycles. Be patient. Trust the process. That's what Spirit is saying very loud about the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles, trust the process. They don't question whether they should go up and get up and go look at the field and take care of it today. It's like whether I see growth and sprouts or not, I go and I tend to the field. So, and Spirit is being very punny with that and saying, tend to your field, Cancer. Like your bio field, your auric field. How is your energy doing? Looking over here, it looked like something did need to fall apart because it's like you're overdoing it. 10 of Wands. Cancer people can be pretty famous for taking on more than their fair share. Oh no, I got it. It's, Cancer is the mother of the zodiac. And famously, it's like mom eats last. Everybody gets presents. Everybody gets food. Everybody gets foot rubs. And what about Cancer? So if you're feeling a little bit, what about Cancer? Take this opportunity. That's the beauty of getting a reading is like, fuck the tower. Oh no, like my life is going to suck. No, it's like, oh, okay. So armed with knowing I might have a little bit of like a meltdown this week because I'm overdoing it. Well, then you know what? I'm going to go ahead and call into work. Or I'm going to go ahead and ask my team or my family or my partner for the support that I need so that I don't melt down, burn out, so that I can make this potential tower moment into more of a wheel of fortune where it's like, yeah, you know what? That can go ahead and get out of my way. I'm actually content to let that go because it does feel like you're holding on tightly to some things, Cancer. And part of it is kind of like it feels like it's attached to your identity. Like Spirit keeps talking about, it's like I'm the mom, or I'm the martyr, or I'm the leader, or I'm the bearer. Are you? Or is that just who you've been raised to be, or been taught to be, or been given positive feedback for that part of you? If it is not real, let it go. That's just what Spirit said loud and fucking clear. So it's like if you're like gritting your teeth and you're like, no, it's totally fine. I'm totally happy to do that for you. Like, stop. Stop. Okay? It's It's not true for all of you, but it's coming up. It's time to look at your energy and how you're spending it. Seven of Pentacles. Take a pause, step back, observe the growth that's happening, and ask yourself, she's got two plants here. She's putting in probably the same amount of work to both of these, right? And it's like, this one is having explosive growth. This one's doing okay too. Do I want to keep putting my energy into both of these? Do I maybe want to, give one of these plants away and put more of my time into this because the harvest is going to be better? What is working? What is not working? Don't be afraid to make a change. Seven of Pentacles. You don't put seven legs on a table. Either you got to take one away or you got to put one on, but something needs to change when it comes to how you spend, save, budget your resources, your money, your time, your effort. For some of you, it feels like this 10 of Wands tower wheel of fortune is around, oh, this is going to be unsustainable, so let me change this now. And that will bring you momentum of the wheel of fortune, like the wheel going downhill instead of trying to like push it uphill. Okay, if you're pushing anything uphill, that's going to lead to a tower moment. So holding on to things, a little afraid to make changes or let things go. Mentally speaking, Two of Swords, afraid of making the wrong decision. I don't know if I should go this way or that way, so I think I'll just sit right here until maybe I'll get more data. Maybe I'll get more information. You don't need, in this case, Cancer, more information. You need to uncross your swords, take off your blindfold, and do as a good Cancer does, and wade into your feelings. The ocean is sitting in the background, unacknowledged, because it's like, no, I have my reasons. I have my reasons why I have to stay still. I have my reasons why I need to hold back, why I'm undecided on a course of action. If you bring your feelings into it, if you face this difficult question or this difficult adjustment, and you keep in mind, it doesn't all have to happen at once. Sometimes we understand something long before we take action on it, and that's okay too. So if you uncross your swords, take a little peek out the blindfold and go like, oh God, I think this is what I'm going to have to do. No one's going to blame you, okay? You're not ready until you're ready, and it's okay to not move until you're ready. But do acknowledge your emotions. Don't try to like, nope, everything's cool. As long as I stay like this, everything is going to be fine. Don't do that. Don't resist change. That's what brings about tower things. Four of Cups. Also, Cancer, for your own good, stop saying, I want it to be the way that it used to be, or it was supposed to be like this. Life happens. Things change. It's unfair sometimes, totally fucking annoying and hurtful. And Four of Cups says, don't get stuck in the past. Don't get stuck in stagnant emotions of the past. And there's this beautiful blessing. There's this beautiful new thing that wants to come into your life. If you will welcome it, you will do better than if you resist it and say like, nope, I'm waiting for the old thing to come back. I'm waiting for that old partner, or I'm waiting for that old way of being appreciated. Don't wait for that. Accept the new. New is good for you. Just want to point out that three of our figures here, actually, JK, four of our figures here, all of your elemental cards, we've got people that in some form or another have their arms crossed. Like, no, I'm not ready to make a change or a different decision. Open yourself up to it. Open yourself up to, you know what? If I cut out this one thing, I would actually have a ton more room to be able to dedicate to this other thing that is fruiting really beautifully, and then could make room for me to do even less later. Hear me? Okay. I hope that that is helpful, Cancer. So now let's talk to Leo. My fixed fire friends. Spirit, what is the theme, the overall energy showing up for Leo this week? What do they need to know? Their highest good about the coming week. Yes, we love to see it, Leo. Let me just a second, pull a few more cards for you. I'm going to show you everything. And how is Leo showing up, Spirit? What is their persona card for this week? Are they showing up like a page, knight, queen, king? And what element are they focused on this week, Spirit? What do you want to share with Leo about how they're showing up and being seen for their highest good? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay. And what about money? Money, work, projects, finances, efforts. Wow. What's going on with you, Leo? Looks fucking great. Okay, when it comes to their mental health, their headspace, how are things looking in the realm of the swords for Leo this week? Wow. Couple more and then we'll get into it. And their emotions, Spirit, their feelings. What is going around in the heart, the emotions, and the relationships of Leo? What do you want to share with Leo? Okay. And finally, Leo's own element, their fire, their spirit, their energy. How is Leo's energy being directed this week? Wow. You have, Spirit is using the word, a ton of staying power, Leo. So your persona card, King of Wands, and your overall theme for the week, the Chariot, massive willpower. What do these cards have in common? Massive willpower, a vision, and a willingness to see it all the way from its infancy to its completion. So love to see you coming through in your element as a king of fire. Your creativity, high. Your energy, high. Your leadership, high. And with the Chariot, it's like whatever obstacles do show up for me this week, I'm actually going to make them work for me. They're actually going to show me what a great leader or I'm also hearing the word star. So it's like, well, makes sense, right? Leo thinks it's like you're the star of something, or you're the leader, the manager, the whatever, the entrepreneur. Very possible, considering when it comes to money and work and projects, more completion. Nine of Pentacles, patting yourself on the back, feeling really fulfilled and able to see like the tangible results of your work. It's like, here's the completed piece, or here's the check in my bank account, or visiting your own gallery and looking at the tangible results or the garden in full bloom. All of these things apply for you, Leo. So whether you get that kind of confirmation from the outside, like, look what you've done, look how far you've come, look what you've managed to accomplish. I feel like a lot of you are going to see that in the external world and be like, wow, look at me. For those of you who don't, you ought to do that for yourself on purpose. Like, let's take a look back at where I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever, and look how far I've come. Look what I've managed to do. I'm pretty amazing. I know. You might be thinking, like, a Leo needs to do that? Yeah, a Leo needs to do that, particularly this week. You've really grown your skills, grown your money, grown your business, whatever this is, grown your garden, whatever this is. It's like, it's looking fucking great. And you need to know that, like, you know what the fuck you're doing. You know what the fuck you're doing. So when it comes to the realm of swords, beautiful card, peace, clarity, take a pause. Clearly with the Chariot, you're gonna be like, pause, bitch, I don't have time to pause. Totally understandable. And just make sure you build in some little breaks. Okay. Four of Swords says some clarity is coming up for you this week. You might even be in like a form of recovery. Like, oh, maybe I just completed this big old project, Chariot plus Nine of Pentacles. And this week, what I really need is to book some space in my brain and in my calendar and in my life so that I can kind of sit back and let things integrate, let the dust settle. Some of you might even be doing like some physical recovery where it's like, oh, I kind of overdid it. Like, my ligament is a little stretched or my knee is a little tweaked and I need to go ahead and like sit back and give myself the time and space to recover. So mentally, physically, if you are in need of some type of recovery or some type of space, please do not hesitate to take it. It will not get in the way of you getting the kind of completion, payback, victory that you are looking for. It will contribute to your victory for you to make space to heal. So, speaking of healing, when it comes to your emotions, no wonder Spirit's telling you to like take some time for yourself. Four of Swords would also indicate like kind of emptying out your mind. Like you could physically write in your journal. You could also pull out your phone and like record yourself or your voice just talking something out. Kind of like, need this go ahead and get out of my head so that things can make a little more sense and a little bit more order, right? Well, that makes a lot of sense when we consider that emotionally speaking, it feels like you are leaving something behind this week that you've been needing to leave behind. The Eight of Cups represents leaving things that are stagnant, things that maybe once nourished us and offered us lots of like emotional satisfaction. And now when we go and drink them, it's like, how am I going to drink a glass of water and feel thirstier afterward? How am I going to go try to sit and be with this person, but I feel lonelier when I'm with them than when I'm by myself? Those kind of feelings, or like this habit, this drinking habit or this eating habit or this whatever habit is bringing me the fuck down, and I need to leave it behind, even though it's like, what the fuck, this is my my main coping mechanism. And that's the phrase that Spirit is using. This person or this substance or this habit, this dynamic is my main coping mechanism, and I'm being asked to leave it behind. Fuck. But also, Leo, you are the sign of courage, and I think you're doing it. I think for most of you, it's like, okay, you know what? If I keep talking to myself like this, it's going to make me sick. I need to leave that behind. Like, or if I keep trying to return to this past or this relationship or this state of being, it's not helping me grow. It's going to do the opposite. So, as difficult as it is, I have to pick up and I have to move in the direction of life. And that's what Spirit is saying, like, as in life affirming, as in, if I feel stuck and stagnant and sick of the way things are, I'm going to be really brave and let go of what is old so I can make room for what is new. So, a theme here of making room for what is new. And King of Wands, just to match your Nine of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Wands. With this Chariot and these nines, it's like the nines are right on the verge of the tens, of course, right? And tens equal actual completion. So it's like you are on the verge of completion of a project. You are on the verge of even a 10 of Pentacles moment of like, oh my God, look at the work that I've done and how it provides not just for me, but for people beyond me. Right now it's you. It can go further if you want it to. Nine of Wands says, stay vigilant, hold on tightly to the thing that you are passionate about, to your skill, to your energy, to what fires and lights you up. You might feel a little tired. You might feel a little bit like, God damn, seriously, you want me to hang on a little longer? You want me to fight a little longer? Only if you care about it. Only if it lights you up. You know how it is. There are things that we want in life that when we try them or do them or use them, they do not light us up. That's this. And there are things that we can be really tired and really like, man, this really like kind of like, it's a lot of work and it takes up a lot of my time and it takes up a lot of my energy, but I really fucking want it. So I'm gonna hold on. If it lights you up, if it energizes you, if it is ultimately in line with who you are and what you want to be in the world, then hold on to it. Anything else, let that shit go. You're going to have more than enough, Spirit is saying. So if you're worried about letting go of a wand or a cup or a sword, don't worry. Whatever you let go, you're going to get something newer and better. Wow. Spirit, some of y'all are gamers because Spirit is like, you don't want to keep like the first crummy sword that you picked up in the game filling up like I can't even think of the word, like the your inventory is like, I'm gonna hold this cruddy little level 3 sword when there's like a level 90 one that I could be putting in there. Let me fucking let this go, knowing that like my level 90 is gonna come in if I let go of my level 3. That's just what Spirit is saying. Take that to the fucking bank. Okay. I hope that helps, Leo. Now, let's talk to my mutable earth friends, Virgo. My Virgo people, Virgo sun, moon, rising, and dominant folks. Spirit. What's showing up for Virgo this week? The overall energy or kind of theme for Virgo this week. What do they need to know for their highest good? Gorgeous. We're going to talk about it. Let me pull a few more for you, Virgo. And how is Virgo themselves showing up, Spirit? Page, Knight, Queen, King, Fire, Earth, Air, Water. How is Virgo showing up? And what do you want them to know for their highest good? How are they interacting with this energy? Love to see it. Virgo in their element, making good changes, is what I'm hearing. So we're going to talk about it. Now let's look at your money, your resources, your work, your job. How are finances and projects looking for Virgo this week, Spirit? What do they need to know for their highest good? Same question when it comes to their headspace. How is Virgo's mental health? How are their conversations and their thoughts looking this week? Gorgeous. And how about their emotions, their relationships, Spirit? How's Virgo doing in the realm of feelings? Making choices, really important choices. That's what I'm hearing. And finally, Spirit, what is lighting Virgo up this week? What is making them excited or what is pissing them off? What kind of energy is coming through for Virgo this week? Making changes just over and over and over. I'm hearing making changes. So, overall theme and energy for this week, the Lovers, and you are showing up as the Knight of Pentacles, moving forward slow and steady. Big Virgo energy. Looks like you are in beginning but very fertile stages of something. It's like you've hit a milestone and you should be quite proud, and you're like at a bit of a turning point. You're at a bit of a, like, it's like a crossroads. Am I committing to what makes me really fucking excited to be alive? Like, what brings passion into my life? Yes, the Lovers can obviously refer to being in love with someone, finding like ecstatic union. Sometimes that's romantic. Sometimes that's like, oh my God, two heads are better than one. Look at this amazing idea or project or creation that we came up with, especially considering that showing up in the realm of your money, your finances, your projects, here's that milestone. And two heads are better than one. Three heads could even be better than two, depends on the person. But it's like group work, collaboration, a milestone, allowing someone to, like, what Spirit is saying now is like some of you are writers, and this is about like having an editor or a friend or whatever come in and like look at it and give you their opinion. Now I know a Virgo is not just going to pick any friend, you're going to pick your most tasteful and smart friend. So do that. That looks like a really great idea. Moving forward, slow and steady. I see you very much like, I don't want to use the phrase in control, but it's fair. It's true. I do see you in control. Um, the Lovers is a really exciting, beautiful card. Spirit is showing me like the scene in The Wizard of Oz where things go from black and white to full color. So you could have kind of like a realization this week about what is possible for you or what is like on the horizon, is the other phrase that I'm hearing. It's like crossroad, horizon. It's right here, but I do have to choose it. I do have to like reach out and take its hand. It's not just going to fall in my lap. You know? Does that make sense? Mentally, Virgo, clear the canvas. Like, clear the decks, clear the schedule, clear the canvas, and make a little time to exactly that. Exhale. My thoughts have been a little tangled up this week. I'm going to go ahead and take some time to do as a good Virgo does, pull out all of the swords that are in a big pile on the floor and put them up on the wall so I can understand, like, oh, right. Okay. This is why I'm thinking about this. This is why that thought is coming in this way. It's not that you need to always trust and believe like every thought. And actually, that would be fucking stupid, right? Lots of thoughts that we have, 99% or whatever the thoughts that we have are repetitive subconscious thoughts. Those are the kinds of things you want to notice. Oh, there's that thought again that like I'm not good enough, or that this person is whatever than me, or whatever. Like there's that thought again, there's that thought again, there's that thought again. Time to do like a thought inventory. Put them up on the wall. Make them make sense is what I'm hearing. So if your inner critic is talking really loud, you want to engage with them in a deliberate but peaceful way. Like, okay, inner critic, I hear that you're saying we need more expertise, or we need more practice, or we need more whatever. And I am willing to put in more practice and more study, and we are going to continue to move forward with the project as, as is, right? So, bringing balance and making space allows for growth. That's what I'm hearing. Because right now, it's a little bit overwhelming. 7 of Cups. Emotionally speaking, it's like my feelings are diffused. I'm thinking about so many things, and I'm kind of like midway invested in too many cups. So it's like, why be midway invested or a third of the way invested into 7 different cups when if you picked 2 or 3, you could have them full, and then that would create the room to fill the rest of your cups. Do you feel what I'm saying? It's kind of like Virgo, if you try to work on 7 projects at once, or try to fight 7 people at once, it's like you could do it, and it's going to take a lot longer. You're going to be a lot more tired and tapped afterward than if you were to be really choosy and really slow and deliberate. And Spirit is saying, this would be a great week for you to like carve out time to get out in nature, to take like a daily walk, to go like no headphones, keep the phone in the pocket for safety or whatever, but don't be scrolling it. Like actually letting nature do like its healing work on you. You're an earth sign. Like it works for all of us, but it's going to be particularly potent for you to let nature help you get clear, like, well, about what's really resonating for you, and what might actually just be like, you know what, I thought that I wanted, power or a certain number of followers or whatever it is, but actually what I really want is love, or to fucking stack up my money. Who cares what people think about me as long as I am stacking up my money, like that kind of thing. Listen, these are general readings. I'm hearing a couple things for a couple different people. If you are passionate about it, if it lights you up, go ahead and move with it. And if it doesn't, trust that it's like either it's time to let it go forever, or that it's just not its time now. And that just because you let something go doesn't mean like, and now it can never happen. It's like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and drop my concern about reading a book every single week, because actually what I need to put time and effort into is to like my physical health or whatever, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to do 7 things at once, Virgo. Do 3 or 2 things extremely well, and then you'll have those down, and then you can keep acquiring skills. Do less, better. Don't do more. Do less, better. Be more present. That's what's really going to take things over the top for you, okay? Okay. I hope that helps, Virgo. And now, let's talk to Libra. My cardinal air friends. Libra sun, moon, and rising spirit. Want to know what is coming up for my Libra people, the overall theme or energy this week. For Libra, what do they need to know for their highest good? Beautiful, very Libran card. Okay, and now Spirit, how are they showing up? Queen, King, Page, Knight, Earth, Air, Fire, Water. How is Libra showing up? What do you want them to know for their highest good? Gorgeous. And when it comes to money, resources, jobs, projects, pretty good, Libra, looking pretty good. And how about their headspace, Spirit? How is the mental realm looking for Libra this week? What do they need to know for their highest good? Looks like you're initiating some things, beginning some things. Off to a good start is a phrase I'm hearing. Okay, Spirit, when it comes to emotions, relationships, how is Libra when it comes to their feelings? And finally, Spirit, when it comes to their energy, their willpower, their fire. How is fire showing up for Libra this week? What do you want them to know for their highest good? Take it easy, Libra. You don't have to go hard, which I know a Libra loves to hear. So Temperance, the card for ease, the card for moderation, and it's a card for harmony. It's not the Libra card, but it's a very Libran card in terms of its nature. It's like balance is everything. She's got one foot on the land, one foot in the water. She's pouring the water from one cup to another, because when we keep things in flow, they stay fresh forever, as opposed to putting some water in two cups and then just trying to keep that water, keep those feelings, that relationship exactly like this forever. It's like that doesn't work. So we have to keep things dynamic. We have to keep things in flow. So, Page of Pentacles is how your persona card for this week, right? How you are showing up and how Spirit is guiding you to show up the best qualities of that card for your highest good. The Page of Pentacles is a great and adept student. They have an open mind, beginner's mind, as they say, where it's like, I don't assume I know everything. And that's what allows me to be an amazing student and eventually an amazing teacher or leader, right? So, keeping your mind, your eyes, your heart open. I feel like some of you may be kicking off a new project, or maybe you're just really digging into something. Spirit is using that word kind of deliberately. Pentacles, earth, right? Some of us are digging gardens. Sitting here in the realm of your money, your work, your projects, an early milestone, an early sign of success. This is also about collaboration. Whose skills would be complementary to your skills? Bring them around. Talk to them at least, right? Like set aside a little, Zoom meeting time to work on this thing together. Or perhaps there's even like a work exchange thing here where it's like, hey, if you could edit my paper, I'll, film your whatever. Like an exchange of work that helps everybody, rising tide lifts all boats. That's what I'm hearing. So, who would you like to look at your work and help you improve upon it? Teachers, coaches, mentors, coworkers, friends. Two heads are better than one. Three heads might even be better than two. It feels like you're getting something rolling, and it has a ton of promise. The Three of Pentacles ain't the Ten of Pentacles, but it's a good sign that you're likely to get there. It's like with continued work, with continued passion, with continued openness to learning new things. The Page of Pentacles also says, like, do research. It's like, ooh, you know what? If I could acquire this one skill, and again, Spirit is for whatever reason saying like editing. So it's like maybe some of you are thinking like, I could maybe learn to edit video or edit audio or edit Word, whatever. That looks good to me. Taking on a new skill, doing research, taking classes. I'm hearing all of these things. All of these things bring new opportunities because it keeps things dynamic. Because a Page of Pentacles might be a fucking King of Pentacles in disguise, but guess what? A King of Pentacles is always dressed as a fucking Page of Pentacles too, because it's like there's always more to learn. If I want more money, if I want more skills, if I want more growth, if I want more options, then there's more to learn. Learning more brings me all of those things. So, open mind, good student. Speaking of new things, in the realm of the mind, Libra, in your own element, great new idea, big breakthrough conversation or initiation. So, between this and the Page of Pentacles, it feels like there's a passionate new start to something. Maybe you are reaching out to someone, initiating a conversation, telling your truth, carving your own way. That's something else that I'm hearing, is like carving your own path and trusting yourself. Something else the Page and the Ace of Swords have in common is like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it and I'm going to figure it out. It's the beginning. We have Three of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, a few cards to indicate very promising beginnings. Now, alternatively, but still very positive, When it comes to the realm of emotions and when it comes to the realm of energy, you have two nines. Nines are right on the verge of the 10, which is completion, right? 10 of Wands, 10 of Cups, completion of a project. So, 9 of Wands, hang on, you're almost there. That's what the 9 of Wands would say. If it comes to something that you're really passionate about, something that you really want to see all the way through, a cause that you fight for, or something that lights you up inside creatively, whether it's like it makes me mad, or it makes me passionate, or it lights me up, hold on to that. If it really means something to you, hold on to it because you're on the verge. Okay. That's what they're telling me. And with that 9 of Cups, self satisfaction, self fulfillment. Nines are all related to the Hermit card, which is the number 9 of the major arcana. So it's like, this is about me. This is about just you, Libra. What is emotionally satisfying to you? What lets you know that, like, man, I'm really fighting for what I care about and I will never back down from this? These are the things that are going to bring you satisfaction this week. So it's like if somebody challenges you on your opinion or your stance, I feel like you see that shit through. I feel like you're like, yeah, I might be a little tired and a little beaten up, but you should see the other guy. The other guy didn't walk off the field. Listen, Libras don't like to fight, but if you make a Libra fight, you're going to see the sword. I'm just saying. New things and things that you may have been waiting a long time to see happen or, go over the edge or pop. It feels like it happens. The good kind of pop. Okay? Okay. I hope that helps, Libra. Now, let's talk to Scorpio. Spirit, I want to know, what is the overall energy for Scorpio this week? Scorpio sun, moon, rising, and stellium, folks. What can Scorpios expect in this week, and what do you want them to know about it for their highest good? Okay, I'll pick up everything and show you in just a second, Scorpio. I want to pull your persona card. How is Scorpio showing up in the face of that energy, Spirit? How are they interacting with that energy? Page, Knight, Queen, King, Earth, Air, Fire, Water? Well, honk yourself. How is Scorpio showing up, Spirit? What do they need to know about how they're showing up for their highest good? Balanced. Love to see it. That's the word that I'm hearing right off the bat, Scorpio, is balanced, slow and steady. And when it comes to money, projects, their efforts, their work, their budget, Spirit. What does Scorpio need to know in the realm of Pentacles? Makes sense to me. And what about in the realm of Swords? Thoughts, words, mental health, headspace. Where is Scorpio at this week? Wow, there's a theme through a lot of these signs. Very curious. If y'all are open to it, share your big three, or like, I have my big three and then I also have a Scorpio stellium, so I end up listening to like almost half the zodiac because my stuff is pretty spread out. I'd be curious to know, what is your combination of signs that you listen to, because I want to know like how this little pattern that I'm seeing holds across the signs. Okay, so what about emotionally, Spirit, in the realm of the heart, relationships, love to see it. Okay. And one more, please, Spirit, when it comes to energy, willpower, their fire, their creative energy and spark. Where is Scorpio this week? Gorgeous. Talk about a spark. Okay. I feel like you're going to make peace about something and celebrate moving forward and starting something fresh. Scorpio, you tell me what this is. Let's talk. Overall energy for the week, justice, making choices and making very balanced choices. Like, balancing heart and mind. Not just saying like, okay, I've got to just use my head or I'm going to just use my heart. Like, no. Balance comes from the logic and the intuition, right? Intellect, intuition. And then you show up as the Knight of Pentacles. So knights represent transition and change. Something you are moving when it comes to, especially like your money, your work, your project. Something is moving forward, slow, steady, looks like it's moving in a good direction, especially combined with justice. It's like I am making very level-headed decisions and I'm proceeding. Like, and it's not proceeding with caution, because I actually feel like in many ways you could be throwing a little bit of caution to the wind and it's a good thing. But it is moving forward very deliberately and like choosing a pace and keeping it. So some of you might be like creating a schedule for yourselves. And if you're not, or you haven't been thinking about it, it might be a good idea to be like, you know what? How is like my energy being spent, my time, my effort, my money? Where do I want to make adjustments so that I feel a bit more abundant? So I say that because sitting in the realm of your money, your projects, your resources, it feels like you're holding on to them a little bit tightly. You know, Scorpio is a fixed sign. So it's like, I don't like to make changes without being incredibly sure, which is why Spirit is having you show up as the Knight of Pentacles. It's like, of all the knights, the Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady, wins the fucking race. Nobody is going to rush you this week, not by any of these cards. Nobody is going to rush you. I actually feel like there's plenty of support available, especially emotionally speaking. So if you need it, please ask. We'll talk more about it. But Four of Pentacles, if you are kind of like holding tight, if you are holding back, if you are holding in, open up, release, spend a little bit if you're feeling kind of stingy. It's like, if you know, give what you want the most. If you what you want is some love or some affection or attention, go and give that and then see what happens. And if you're feeling a little tight in the money department, but it's like, well, yeah, I feel a little tight in the money department, but I'm also like, my rent is paid and my fridge is full. So do I have, $5 to send to an organization or a person or a cause that I really care about? Let me do that and see what happens when it comes to my money. Because holding in and being fearful of not having enough, it tends to, that doesn't go away, as what Spirit is saying. Like when I write tarot translations, right? And one of my tarot translations for the Four of Pentacles is Scrooge McFuck you, because the Four of Pentacles is like, this person has more than enough, but they're too scared to share it around. They don't trust that if they give, that they will get back. And that's, Spirit is just like, yeah, that's really landing on it. Don't be afraid to give and that you won't get back. Like sometimes the giving is the getting, right? And that doesn't have to be true all the time. I'm not talking about giving of yourself when you don't have any to give. Certainly fucking not. Hello. Like being very measured, making good decisions, balancing heart and mind. Yeah, I'd love to give you $50,000, but I don't have it. So what can I do? Here's 5. Like that's what I do have. That's allowed. You have more to offer than you might be recognizing right now. And it would benefit you to kind of zoom out and think about, how could I be a little bit more open and free with what I have to give so that I have more room to receive also, It's like when you've got your feet on your money and you got your hands around your money and you got money balanced on your head, it's hard to go anywhere. It's hard to move forward. It's hard to accept more money because it's like, I can't accept more money because if I have to even just pry one hand off of this coin, that's too scary. So if you're feeling a little tight, try to work against that purposefully. Try to consciously be generous. In your mental realm, healing, we love to see it. Some peace, some recovery. Probably a lot of y'all also need a bit of a timeout. Like, can I create a little bit of blank space in my day or in my weekend or whenever I can take, because I need a little bit of like energetic exhale. Like we're always getting a ton of input, like social media, contemporary media, people talking, notifications on the phone, internet, news, blah, 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 blah. Input. It's a little bit of overload. We need a place to energetic exhale. So that could look like journaling. That could look like therapy. That could look like getting together with friends, which we'll talk about, showing up in your emotional arena. Whoever helps you do that mental exhale where it feels like, oh my God, thank you. I feel so much more spacious now. I mean, like, there's a theme here, right? Of creating a little bit more openness and a little bit more spaciousness. And that makes room for celebration. That makes room for love. That makes room for support. That's super fucking important, Scorpio. They're saying for a lot of you, the problem is that you're trying to hold it all together because, you know, it's maybe for various reasons, it's difficult to ask for help. Even if there are people that would want to help you, family, friends, whatever, it's like, I don't want to be a burden, or I don't want them to know that I'm struggling with fill in the blank. For some of you, I'm actually hearing something very specific. This will certainly not apply to everybody. For some of you, it's like there might be like even like postpartum or like some mental health struggles that it's like, I don't want to put this on anybody, but I really do need help. Let people help you. Your loved ones want to help you. And they're also celebrating you this week. Some of you, well, it's November, right? Some of you Scorpios might be having birthdays. Happy birthday, happy solar return for those of you that are. I see celebrations, I see gathering, and I love to see the 3 of Cups after this because it's like, let us help and support you and lift you up so you don't feel like you have to hold everything together and like take a whole ass mental health day just to get your thoughts straight because it's all in your head and none of it is like shared. So don't be, you know, again, Scorpio stellium. So don't shoot the messenger. I completely relate to let me hold it all in and hold it all together and like it's totally fine, I'm strong enough, yada yada. Yeah, you are. No one's questioning whether you're strong enough. It's, is it helpful or is it now at some point bottlenecking you, holding you back, slowing you down? I feel like you can go faster and further. You know, as they say, it's like if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. That's what Spirit is saying. A rush of energy. We love to see it. I feel like this comes because you take the time to kind of like clear the mental decks and be like, oh, what do I really care about? What do I really want to put my time and effort and energy into this week? Just this week. Let's not even try to think super far into the future. This is just one week from Sunday to Sunday, right? Making like space in your mind and in your heart and even on your schedule. Don't be surprised when a brilliant idea or inspired action, it's like, oh, I need to do this. You wake up and that's how their Spirit is saying is like, you know, take a time out and take a fucking nap and you wake up from the nap or you pause to go outside and take a walk or take a long shower and finally like, fuck this fucking book that I'm working on or this project or whatever this is, fuck this. I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to walk away. And then the minute that you take that step to like let it go, release it, walk away from it, boom, shakalaka. Oh my God, I know just what to do. So don't be like, let me just hold on to this thing and I'm going to worry it and I'm going to work it and work it and work it and work it. And that's what's going to help me get it. No, actually, let it go, take some space, get together with people who make you feel good. And the new idea or move or inspired action or ingredient, and Spirit is using all these phrases, will come to you. And you will be like, ah ha ha, I know what to do. Okay? Okay. I hope that that is helpful, Scorpio. So